Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And I will say it is a early morning in which the Most High Yah has created. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm just coming with a message. Hope not to be before you long. Just want to speak on some things that the Spirit has put upon my heart. I know that there's going to be a great big change within me toward the YouTube. And it's going to be more so just sticking with spirit and truth, not trying to justify, clarify, and identify the truth as it is written in the instructions and direction book. Because I now see the outcome of how and the way that the right hand of Satan was able to successfully bring in everything together for the sake of my Father in heaven. I want to give him all the glory and the praise and the honor, because none of it could have been done without his, who he is, who he was, and who he's going to be. So when I think I have I call it a protein drink. You know, you've seen the vegetables and the and fruit and black beans this is my drink. I blend it up, put a dab of honey, and I drink it. It's like a meal for a whole day. So somebody who is losing weight, that'll be great for you to lose weight. For someone who gaining weight, you would take 3 of these meals and you'll still have 3 daily meals. So this will give you extra, okay? And then you can gain it. So it helps losing weight and it helps with gaining, but it also bring you into all healthy, high energy type of food, okay? And not so much as artificial and dye and what is it called? Process and all of that. It takes all that away. So I thank the Father for it. And I had one this morning. And see, I have another one this evening. But I come to you because I just want to bring you what the Father was giving me. So starting in January, things are going to be done a little bit different. I'm going to just kind of put out what the Spirit put in my heart and not go after the things that's not created to change. Because a lot of times when you walk in spirit and truth, you talk, you live in spirit and truth, you feel like you're on another planet and you're chasing down the words and the things and the individuals trying to shake them to get them to make the right turn because they're on the wrong road. But the Father has given me enough to know that the way that I see it is the way that it shall continue to be, and worsen. So it's not my purpose nor my calling or works to try to go in and convert Judah. Judas cannot be converted, for it is finished. Judah never could be converted. And I realized that because I said, now, Father, I got a problem, a serious problem. And don't think that if I ask him something, he's not going to answer it, because he have all my life. And I said, I got a serious problem. Why is it Judah can't change? Why is it Judah can't hear? Why is it Judah can't comprehend? What is it about Judah to where it's just nothing about him that can turn, can get right, can unify, can correct What is it about Judah? He went on to telling me about, if I really watched Jacob with Judah and hear Jacob in days, you'll see Jacob had said what Judah was going to be. It's just that we didn't want to hear Jacob, just like we don't want to hear the prophets today. But the reason why you don't hear the prophets today and you don't hear them, nor take heed to them, nor support them, is because you didn't do it. Your ancestors didn't do it in present time, past time. So I should not expect something in the end days to be better than the past days. You see? So he was showing me that Jacob had said something to them at the end. And even that is not even considered in the mind frame of Judah, because Judah is set in the way the heavens had set Judah up and set Judah out. Let me say that again. Heaven has set Judah up and set Judah out. And what Judah is what Judah was. What Judah is what Judah's going to be. What Judah is what he is today. So he was, he is, and he going to be what the Father already sealed that he would be. And he has been just that. And it's nothing else a person can do with that. You can't mess with that. Because it's actually telling you that the ways of Judah is going to remain even to the day of judgment. So it's no change coming in Judah. It's nothing in Judah that's going to come and reverse itself out of the way that it was. And that's why every time he said that if you pick up the instructions and directions book and read it as a way of studying, but not of mastering it to be what you should be today. And that's why I say people, Torah teachers, and Torah preachers, and Torah mindset is messed up from the floor up. Because in Torah, you couldn't change or you couldn't breathe in today. Not with Torah. Because Torah has sealed things that the Roman Catholic found very, 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 very easy to go into Torah and confuse a whole lot of things. Now, I'm going to tell you, a lot of times Judah don't even see that people are, you can't tell people who you are and trying to make yourself look good by using, let me say this again, by using the Father, the Creator. And that's what Judah do. Judah wants to explain to the world who the Creator is and how good he is and how excellent he is, and then turn around and say, we are his offspring. No, baby. The whole world of human, dead and alive, are his offspring. Why? Because he gave them an image and he had given them a breath. So they came off of him. How about that? How about that? So a lot of Judah is just so, let me see. Oh, I'm going to tell you the truth. There's no words for them. Because once you are able to walk in spirit and truth, you should be able to see Judah for who he is. I have spoken it to you. Judah has fallen. Now that I am in full understanding that Judah has fallen, I now will see how Babylon is going to get, most likely, I'm thinking, I won't say nuke, but they are going to come down. Okay, they're going to crumble. Okay, but Judah has already fallen. Okay, so when you see that it says Judah has fallen, it still takes you back to the Judah of the not of the Bible of creation. See, we want to bring Judah into something perfect, good, excellent, great, and you sitting here watching Judah cut up from the floor, representing everything outside of the Most High Yah. That's why it's so easy for our men to search the flesh ways, the flesh approval, the things we can do right now in our flesh versus the things we need to teach people about the spirit. That's how easy it is, because it wasn't that they were like that today. The Father wants to say they were like that yesterday. the day before. He said heavens knew them. Okay, so while women and men out here trying to understand Judith, you ain't gonna understand them. Outside of what you see is what you get. What you get is what you see. No matter how they try to paint a picture that we it is, we so good, we so righteous, we so it, you all don't even see what is before you regarding your own tribe, Judith. He said to me, Judith will always have his hand in the neck of his enemy. That is Jacob's statement. Judith said Jacob going to be like from a young cub all the way to an old lion, crouched down, doing nothing. Nobody wants to hear what you got to say, Jacob, but they want to claim you their father. Then they want to claim your father their father's father. And then they want to claim Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and follow no protocol or no voice out of neither nor. But yet they want to claim these men of Yah. Okay? God said, not so. They're not going to get anywhere with it. They haven't gotten anywhere. That's why you see Judith cutting up from the floor. And you don't see Judith cutting up from the floor. This is Judith. I know you all trying to really paint it. Hey, the white man, the heathens, the Gentiles, they doing it, and they the one doing this to them. They did this to them. No. That's why this nonsense is not going to be over in holy. Holy, the land that the Father is preparing for his small remnant of the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. He's taking them out of Israel and he's taking them over there. Okay. So therefore he's taking them out of Babylon and he's taking them over there, but he's not taking Judah. I mean, the Israel and Judah of the world. He's taking Israel and Judah of the spirit out of Babylon and on the four corners. So a lot of what you're talking to people talking about as far as we getting out of here, you're not getting anywhere. Because see, the thing about it, your last focus should be trying to get out of here. If you represent Yah, your focus should have been long time ago, even to today. Let's say even to 2024 is informing people about the Most High Yah, and that's it. How excellent he is, how wonderful. But what Judah's so busy trying to make themselves a king, leader, and ruler, where? On the land of their captives. On the land of their captives. Why? So they won't have to salute Deuteronomy 28. That's what they did, y'all. They covered up Deuteronomy 28 to the fullness so that they can live a life as a ruler, a king, a lion, a leader, a head, submissive, having many submissive under them. These are the ways and the titles of the flesh. What are you in the spirit when kingdom come for you? Dead and in the books. See, Judah don't think like that. Judah came down here like that, you guys. Judah came down here like that. And that's why the Father say, don't go after trying to bring scriptures and breaking it down and trying to, because it's over, Deborah. If it had not been in them from the beginning, it's not going to be in them at the end. It makes sense. Because I even be, like I said, I've been before the Father saying they act like they brick wall. He said they are. This is the reason why they can't support you and come on one accord to move forward in anything in me. It's because they just who they are. But I don't want you to go into the year 2004 trying to break down to them who they are. They are who they are. Let them be. Let them be that brick wall. But what are you supposed to do? What was that last vision with you in the brick wall? You was around that brick wall, wasn't you? You was a long ways from it, wasn't you? When you look back to your left and you look back and I told you to look back, what did you see? Brick wall way in the back. That's what you got to run, Deborah, in the year 2024. Now, what he was sharing with me is how Judah has a tendency of wanting to debate. And the Father said all they debate is evil and wicked in the world. They try to debate and don't understand the debate in which they have come to understand to be a debate to try to prove that they are all upright and righteous. It's not something you have to prove that you are. You are that from the heavens if that's who you are. But seems like Judah is always trying to justify, clarify, and identify who they are. But people don't understand. They're telling you who they are in the flesh because you don't have to prove who you are in the spirit. You see, you just have to speak spirit and truth with the light in your right hand, and they will see. And if they do not see, it's because they are the seeds of Satan that's not meant for them to see the light. Okay, just like I did I update? I don't even think I upload that other video about. I think I did about the light, and it's just something that's got just a lot of power in what is being said by the Spirit to me, and I'm like, okay, this is just too much. This is good food, Father. He said you don't have to bring it before the people because the people are bringing themselves before the devil platform, and they want more so of devil food than anything righteous. That's what they on here for, Deborah. They're not on here for the light. They're not on here for fear, spirit and truth. They on here for to see all the chaos, and what the devil has to say today, what the devil has to say tomorrow, and what the devil said yesterday. He said that's what these platforms are really about. Okay, so I knew it, but I'm just saying to you all, he was just explaining to me what 2024 is going to look like for me in him. Okay. He was explaining to me about how Judith has a real heavy spirit of debating, trying to justify, clarify, and identify who they are. He said they be on the corners, hooping and hollering, cursing, representing, saying they represent me. These type of mouths does not represent me. You'll know them not by their profanity coming out their mouths and the way they conduct themselves in front of you. They showing you, hey, look, I can do this in front of you all, and I still represent the Most High Yah. Because that many people, they got bent to the point they're going to remain bent come the kingdom. That's just how bad it is. And he was telling me they don't understand. These people don't understand. They debating not spirit and truth, not with the light. They debating flesh on flesh. So when they come to do all these debate and want to prove themselves, it's always and shall always be detached to flesh. Never will they bring spirit to spirit or truth to truth, you see, or the light to light. He said they're not. Only light that they want to bring is the darkness. They want the darkness to have all the light in the world so that they too may live as if they're in light, but they really in darkness. But the problem with people that don't understand the men of Judah, is it's not about if I'm right or if I'm wrong. It's more about getting people to believe me where I'm at, meaning in their flesh. Their whole ideal is not bring the people to the light, bring the people to spirit and truth, because then you're bringing them to the throne of the Most High Yah, setting them before him, letting them go from here. But the Father said it's not important for the tribe of Judah men, and because they want to set them before them, and they want to feed them from their own plate. And that's when they're doing that, it's flesh on flesh. So he said in the debate, it's like that too. So when you see all these men on the corners, hooping and hollering and clowning, trying to prove who the heavens, the creator is, when everything you see proves who he is. He don't need you to be on no corner hooping and hollering and profanity and hollering and trying to read a book. You think y'all need you to be representing him like that? No, he don't need you on this devil platform cursing and drinking profanity and trying to read at the same time. He don't need that, but the flesh of man needs it because that's what energized them. They don't understand and they won't understand, for he said it is finished. What they have taken is an idol god. They have saluted him. They have bowed down to the Judah men. He said they have bowed down to him. Let them have it. This is why the more Satan his crew get a hold of Judah, okay, the more Judah get a hold of Satan. They working hand in hand. Because I said, but Father, I noticed something. I said, Father, it have said that we all going to be judged. But before we are judged, Satan is going to the lake of fire first. So therefore, when we stand before for our eternal mission, then Satan not gonna be on our left and our right. He's not gonna be enticing us. Why? Because who we are in the spirit is who we were lived out of the flesh. And it already has been judged before the foundation of the world to be found in the books of the dead. So when you see them, when the Father is saying to Sister Deborah, Deborah, you will know them by the fruit. The fruit is not natural, you guys. It is spiritual. So if a person in the eyes of Sister Deborah is conducting himself out of his flesh and the things of the flesh and the worship of the flesh and the mindset of the flesh, that's why Sister Deborah for years keep telling you they are flesh wisdom, flesh knowledge, flesh understanding, flesh emotions, flesh. That's what I've been telling y'all. When you see this type of fruit, this is those who are born of the seed of serpent, which is born of the flesh, which is already written in the book of the dead. So I'm beholding the dead, yet living in the flesh. So this is what he's asking you. When the Father say, know them by their fruit. Okay? Know them by their fruit, Deborah. And if you can, try the spirit by the spirit. The fruit is spirit, and trying the spirit by the spirit is going beyond the flesh and go to the spirit realm. Do you think that the Father is talking about try they flesh and see if they spirit? No, he's telling you to go beyond the flesh and hit the spirit. Because what the flesh is showing you is that it is born of the flesh. So, okay, tap into that spirit. I'm very excellent at that. Why? Because that's something Yah has instilled in me, because he is greater in me than he is in the world. So that's why Sister Deborah was saying to you, all this here clowning that everybody's doing, hey, keep clowning, roll up, all the way up in spring, the new year, clowning. Because what people have been doing is doing clowning since the beginning of time. Heaven's house saw that you were going to be a clown for Satan. Heaven already knew that. That's why he got you written in the books and your works, so that you won't come before the throne like he don't have you in that list, on that list and listed and your works. That's how I said to you all, if I have to come to the throne, I'm going to hang my head, because I know as a prophetess in the wilderness, I know that the throne is not something you come up there and say, but I did it. You know why? Because I already know that it was finished before it started. Heaven had already had me locked in and locked out. So it's nothing I can come before the mighty throne of the Most High Yah and think I'm going to bring that same chaos that I deceived many on the earth. I'm going to bring it before the mighty white throne. No, shut up. And that's what I'm going to do. And just wait. Now, if he said go here, I go here. If he said go here, I go here. Why? Because there's nothing I can do about it. I'm going to go in up there regardless. You see, so it's not that same clowning down here. I tell you what. See if you clown up in the heavens of the kingdom. You're going to be locked in to the lake of fire or the eternal heaven. And he wanted me to let you know all this debating, these men going on men, talking about they trying to prove this, prove that. The Father said all it is just like the world throwing us off. All this is about the world throwing us off, flesh on flesh, serving Satan. That's all this stuff that they're showing us and putting in our ears and overloading us with all this stuff going on. Look how they are making sure the world sees Judah. And Judah has cut up from the floor for the world to see it. And I said, I remember 2.5 years, I said, Father, they putting us all on the media, showing us this. The Father said to me in a quiet voice, Deborah, are they doing these things? What he's saying is, don't come to me white and black, black on white. Don't come to me that way. Don't come to me with white and black and white. You are not allowed. I am. Let me get that right. I'm not allowed to come before the throne of the Father in white and black. I'm not allowed to come before the Most High Yah in he and she. I'm not allowed to come to the Father in a way that's fleshly. I have to come to him in spirit. That's the only way he's going to accept me to his throne. Even with our prayers. That's why many people prayers has not been answered. Their answer is when they had a way. Oh, he answered me. He blessed me. He gave. But let the Most High not. Let it not be their way. Then they'll say, they won't say anything. Because the truth of the matter, your way is not Yah's way. And just because you had your way in something does not mean Yah blessed you and gave you your way. Because he can sit around and give you $1 million, but then you can have heart cancer. Give you $1 million, but yet your spouse is dead, or your children has passed away, and you suffering lonely. But yet he blessed you. See, people got to get that stuff in order, and they can't because it's over. When it's over, that means the working of the right hand of the Father is done away with. It's no more. It's over. It's finished. We're not going to get away with trying to add all these things into one to get it to feel, to be, and to do the way we want it to do and feel. The Father is going to give us no satisfaction on having things our way and the way that we see things to be fit. Okay, so again, I want to show you that I want to say to you, the world debate with the world, okay? And that's flesh on flesh. That's why it's easy for our tribe of Judah will get on here. Do y'all ever notice you don't see any other the house of Israel? You don't see them out doing what the tribe of Judah is doing. Now, see, when you look at Jacob and you see Jacob said, let me see if I can pull that up. Let me see if I can pull that up right quick. 49, Genesis 49. Genesis 49. In Genesis 49 and verse 8, it says, Judah, thou art he whom thy brother shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. Your hand is going to always find room to be in the neck of your enemy. What that is showing you all, which is, you all are in full denial because of where we're at today, you should have been what you call fully woke in the light of spirit and truth. So here, Jacob is telling Judah that your hand shall be, and shall is slanted. So it's telling you there's some power, okay? In the neck of thy enemies. That is so 100. And what that is saying is what we today as a Judah has performed. The Judah that's in the flesh. The Judah that's in the flesh have met all things that Jacob has said about him. Being a young cub and then an old lion, and he's going to be crouched down. Who can awaken Judah? Nobody. Okay? But that when the Father come and get his spiritual Israel out of Israel, and take them over to the promised land, the promised land is going to awaken Judah. Not the land of your captives, not the journey to the promised land. You see, you're not going to be delivered until you on the land of holy. And I know they would never teach and preach or reveal none of that to you. And it's okay. It's over. It's finished. You don't need to be revealed anything. You don't need to be taught anything. No more. The Father has sealed his in the forehead. He has already sent his servants to give you the mystery. It's out. Okay? So what you don't know is because you wasn't predestined to know. You're supposed to stay where you were created from the heaven. No one has nothing more outside of what heaven has given us. Okay? Nobody, even Sister Deborah. So I say unto you that all the debating, the Father wants you to know the reason why the flesh of man or quick and easy in the tribe of Judah to do that is because y'all didn't hear what Jacob was saying to him. And that's another sad thing. They want to hold on to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but they didn't never hear what Jacob had to say to his 12 sons. They never took heed. They never heard. And he was already telling you Jacob's neck is always going to be fighting against his enemy. Fighting against his enemy. That means trying to counteract everything the Father has prophesied, even in Deuteronomy 28. I said this was going to happen, this was going to happen, and this was going to happen. And your end game. What Judah doing? He got his hand in the enemy neck as we speak today. Judah has his hands in the enemy neck as we speak today. What does it mean that Judah has his hands in the enemy neck? Fighting against the stones. Fighting against the will of the Father. Fighting against. What is that also saying? That the reason why Judah is deleted and is done a lot of ways that he is done is because he's going to always be fighting against the will of the Father. See, you would think the enemy, okay, if Judah had his hand out of the neck of the enemy and let the will of the Father take its place and let Yah be his vengeance, then therefore Judah wouldn't have to suffer what he's still suffering today. But because Judah is a spirit, y'all, that comes in the tribe of Judah, that believes that the fight of the flesh is more important than the fight of the spirit. The fight of the will of the flesh is stronger than the fight of victory out of the hands of he that caused the curse. You see, they don't understand if Yah put you here. Okay? He put you here. This is the reason why they cannot take the hand and salute the fact that this is the will of the Father. This is the will of, why? Because in them rest their hands on the neck of the enemy. They so busy trying to make the neck, they so busy with their hands in the neck of the enemy to the point you're going to give us reparation. You're going to understand who we are. You're going to learn who we are. You're going to recognize us. You're going to see us for who we are. You're going to do this, you're going to do this, and you're going to do this. You need to do this. You need to stop doing this to us. You need to stop doing this to us. You need to do this, do this, do this to us. You need to give us this. You need to do this to us. You need to let us have this. You need to give us land. You need to do this. You need to do this. That's the hand that Judah has in the neck of the enemy, because he never allowed Yah's hand to have vengeance over the enemy. So that's why Judah suffered so much that he didn't have to. And women and men out there, your own men brought your own great sorrow. Because had Judah, and it's going back to when I was a young girl, I said, well, okay, if they was on the slave ship, right then the power of their moaning and calling on the name of the Most High, or higher in one unity on them ships, Father, you would have came and delivered them. But they didn't do that. That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. They left the hem of his garment when they were doing what they were doing in the promised land. Even it is said that Yah said to Ezekiel, I had to have pity on my own name. I had to have pity on my own name, because if he looking for Judah and the house of Israel to have any sorrow or any compassion or anything regarding the great Most High Yah, they ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna have it for their children. They ain't gonna have it for their mother. They ain't gonna have it from the father, nor they gonna have it for the women. People don't understand men that has hate toward women and so indulged in trying to make women sealed under their shoes are men that had a hate for their mother and their grandmother. And this is their way of expressing what always been there. So there was never any honor. The Father did not say honor your father. He said honor your mother. Okay? And the law of your mother. Look like mama had laws whether you a child, a teenager, or an adult. You're going to respect her laws, he said. But the way that they have orchestrated things today, I'm kind of excited that the Father is bringing me all the way up to date, as to the point where you can kind of feel that something is about to happen. I want to let y'all know that death as dying that you've seen in time past, it's going to be off the chain. The beginning of New Year's all the way down. 24 is bringing in a whammy. And it ain't that it's bringing in, it's already set there. And I'm almost finished. And it's set there and it's not going anywhere. You see what I'm saying? So it's there to be what it is and what it's going to be. Okay? So when you see the world debating with the world, that is not the will of the Father. So you should be able to look at it, measure the fruit that it is, know that by spirit that is not detached to a spiritual creator. Understand that. You see? Now, another one he was saying, he said, come out from among them. And this means when he said come from among them, he's speaking of spirit. Okay? He's saying that in a way that you see things now versus what you seen. Come from among the things of the flesh and come in the spirit. So here he's separating he that is born of the flesh from he that is born of the spirit. That's what he means when he said come from among them. But what the man teaches the people, the weak men on the earth, and I feel that while we want to make the bad tough, the strong, the buff, the man as we see it to be the strong men, they're not. They are our weakest men. They are our weakest men, okay? Because they were so weak that they were so wrong in what the things that they're doing. They are so weak to where they feel that they have to identify that I'm a man. You see, they are so weak in their spirits as well as their flesh, because their spirit has to be really weak to let their flesh live out its life, its eternal life. The eternal life of the spirit is letting the flesh live it out the way it feels, the way it desires. So it makes a man the weaker because he has weakened his spirit by his own flesh. So he's saying, when he said come out from among them, you first have to start with yourself. Yourself has to come out of your flesh. Once your spirit come from among your flesh, meaning come from the ways of your flesh, then it can see and understand in the spirit realm, and now you'll start learning on the spiritual realm. But long as you live in your flesh, you're debating in your flesh, you're teaching men that everything on the outer man is more important than the inner man. This is what he's saying. Come from among them that are choosing and that has chosen and that heaven has sealed them to focus on the outer man and the things in the world over to outride he that's in the spirit. So he said, come from among that, okay? And be ye separate. But you ain't being separate when you going into a church or academy or how would I say, you going out in the woods and into a camp, into a group, into a homestead community. That's not coming out of them. What sense does it? Listen to what I'm saying. Come out from among them. How is it that everybody that is among what they quote says, spiritual people, holy than thou, righteous people, just people, people of God, people of Yah, do you really believe that could be so? No. No. Yeshua had 12. And yet he knew one already was the betrayer. The Father ain't geared up to your ideal of what come from among them is. You see? Because among you is going to be more demonic spirits. Because you all are teaching how to conquer everything on the earth and in the flesh realm versus anything in the spirit. See, the spirit don't have a chance. Okay? So when he's saying come from among them, come from among all the ways of the flesh and be separate and walk in spirit and truth with the light. See, they don't get that. And be among those that are one in the body of Hamashiach. So when he says come out from among them, that means you're supposed to be separate from the way of the world, not go out into a homestead and a church and an academy and a building and a temple and make yourself separate from everybody else. And that's what he means. He don't mean that, baby. He means that separate the ways of the flesh from the power of the mind of the spirit. Come out of the flesh and walk in spirit. And then go amongst likewise. Why? Because body of Hamashiach don't have no flesh. It is built on those that are spirit. So you see what I'm saying? We are separated. We have come from among them. We don't feel, we don't have to feel that we're in there. We have to follow the tradition of a man understanding. Being so you got a book, we probably got a million different denomination and a million different understanding of the whole book. So that leads you to realize what? Can't no one man master this book. The Father didn't tell you to. He said, seek ye him, the kingdom, where all the power is, all the authority and the will and everything. But we seek this out of the mouth of man. And he told us that this is it. Don't ever, whenever a person live by this, he cannot live. He cannot be a part of the body of Hamashiach. Because the body of Hamashiach has the power to take you out of this and teach you all things. Then bring you back to this to see what's what been planted in this. See, you can't see it because you're reading it. It's a spiritual thing. This is why when he said come from among them, you have to come from the ways of the flesh and how they rumble things and do things and walk there in the spirit. Another thing he said, Judah want the world to understand them, but they understand not him. I like that, Father, y'all, because I have saw that to be the truth. Judah wants the world to understand that we are men. We are leaders. We are kings. We are rulers. We are the children. We are the chosen. We are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are Jacob's seed. We this, we that. But what do you really understand of the Most High, y'all? If you all that answer, nothing. Because you wouldn't be worried about who you are labeled in the flesh. You'll be more so concerned about where do I rest in the spirit. That's why the Father say try the spirit. Know them by the fruit. Because he knows that the fruit is not the natural fruit in what you see a man do. What you see a man say. It's what a man is in the spirit that is unseen, that is yet seen, but yet you can see behind what it is. The spirit is not the outer man, is what he's telling you to observe. Oh, I can build, I can plant, I got land, I got money. Yeah, you should have. Look at all everybody you took money. See, that people don't get that. So Sister Deborah, got a lot of business to take care of today. And I really need to get busy at that. But I just wanted to share with you all that the Father did say Judith wants the world to understand him. Judith, the world understands you. You ain't nothing but flesh. But they understand not him. Isn't that deep? That's why they can't wrap or can't see the spiritual completion of Deuteronomy 28. It's because they want you to only see what they pull out for you to believe. And that's all detached to their spirit having their way. So when you see Diddy and you see all these men coming down, they coming down because in Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 8 and 9, in Isaiah chapter 3, verse 8 and 9, in Isaiah chapter 3, verse 8 and 9, in Isaiah chapter 3, verse 25, the Father says that Judah has fallen. Why is it Judah has fallen? Because Judah has cut up from the floor umpteen times in the eyes of Yah with no respect and no honor to be representing Jacob's seed. Flesh seed. You ain't Jacob's spiritual seed, you his flesh seed. Okay? So he said that they won't read that, Deborah, and they won't teach that because they don't want you to see in Isaiah 3 and 9 how all of this sexual perverted mess is exactly what you see on TV. Go to Judith. Go to Isaiah chapter 3 and read the whole chapter. This is what you see in the world today. So we can sit and say, oh, the heathens, the Gentiles, they bothering us. What is it that heaven knew this would come? What is it about today and what our tribe of Judah is doing that heaven knew about to the point where he allowed with his finger that it can be written so someone can see it in plain view? I mean, we never covered the things that should be covered. And if they cover it, they flip in the script so that they can manipulate the mind. See, the mind of the flesh is easy. It's easy to be manipulated. But when you come to the spirit, it's going to take more than that. Why? Because the spirit is what's going to stand before judgment. But when your flesh has dominion over your spirit and has allowed you to do what you want to do in your flesh and you want to justify, clarify, and identify, guess what? Your spirit has to fall to the down to its knee and bow down to your flesh, just as one would do with Satan. I'm on your side, Satan. Well, that's how you do to your flesh. Your spirit drops down and bow down and worship your flesh, because the whole idea was your spirit are to make sure that your flesh stay low. Matter of fact, stay under your feet, your spiritual foot. That's where your flesh need to be. But the way Judith lived is identical to the way Jacob said. His hands going to be in the neck of his enemy. That leads you to realize Judah going to always be fighting the enemy. Why would Judah fight the enemy? It's because Judah is an enemy to himself and always was. Why would Judah's hands be in the neck of the enemy? Because Judah is an enemy to himself. That's why you see them out here doing all these killings. And what women don't understand, as well as men, is that the way the Father created everything, he also wanted men to understand you come first, because anything go down is because of what you do dictate what the woman does. Okay? And they didn't get that. They don't get that. They didn't get it and they don't get it. So when you get a situation where you see the women are out of order, he said because the men been out of order, Deborah. Thousands of years. That's why the women are. And that's why the children are. Because the children are following the iniquity of the men. They're not following the iniquity of woman. They following the iniquity of men. Now, if woman was to sin that they said was in the garden, why isn't they following the woman and the man, or the woman being so she was the weaker one that the Roman Catholic said, which was a lie? But it shows you why is it that the Father always intend for the men to be what they're supposed to be. Instead, not only did they put her under their feet and they took over them the way the Father created and made it him. It's just so much that they have done to the point where year 2024, we are just going to stand back and behold the wrath of the Father, the judgment of the Father that's on the earth, and the fire that is kindled. And we're going to see tribulation pull on in like it ain't nothing. Like tribulation gonna go pull. It's already pulled in. It's already in, but it's gonna pull up a little higher. And I give all the glory and honor unto the Most High Yah. Again, look into Genesis 49. I think it was verse 8. I think it's verse 8 where the Father says, Judah, your hand's gonna be in the enemy. That means you're fighting the enemy. Why is Judah fighting the enemy? Because Yah is not fighting for Judah. Judah gonna always feel the fight is his. And that's what is going on. That's what debating. That's what controlling women. That's what controlling everything wants to be. Their hand is always going to be in a fight, in the throat, in the neck of their enemy. Now, if he said that the enemy is going to oppress you for a certain length of time, why is your hand in the neck? Why is your hands in the enemy's neck? It's because you're going to always fight against the will of the Father. That's what your hand represents. Fighting against the will of the Father. Judah don't understand. You cannot beat. You cannot defeat your enemies, Satan's seed. Judah didn't know that unless he's the seed of Satan fighting against the enemy who also is of Satan. Because if you are in spirit and truth, you will let the one that comes to defeat the battle, being so he created the battle. He created the oppressed. He created you to be where you at. So why are you fighting? Why are you on corners trying to make the world see the most high Yah in a negative a way, and then want the world to see you as somebody when you have proven yourself through your action you are a monster. So I, Sister Deborah, hope that you gain something out of that. And I will be back this evening to cover what is actually happening to Judah. Shalom and shalom.